My sister said, "If you show up, you'll ruin everything. And keep your weird kid away, just don't come." I didn't reply. Instead, I froze every credit line linked to my name. 3 days later at the venue, her card was declined, and my dad stood there red-faced, calling me again and again. "I'm Sarah, and you need to hear this from the beginning." Because what my sister did to me and my daughter still makes my hands shake when I think about it. It started with a text, not a call, not a voice message. A text from my own sister, Vanessa. "You showing up will ruin everything. Just stay away and keep your weird kid away too." My daughter, Emma, is 6 years old. She's autistic. Yes, she stims sometimes. She doesn't always make eye contact. But she is the sweetest, most loving little girl you will ever meet. And my sister, my own sister, called her weird. I sat there staring at my phone for I don't even know how long. Across the kitchen table sat my grandmother, Nana Ruth, the only person in my family who's ever truly had my back. She saw my face and asked what was wrong. I showed her the message. She went completely still, then asked quietly, "What is this about?" "Vanessa's wedding." Her big, expensive, Pinterest-perfect wedding that my dad had been paying for months. She was marrying a finance guy named Brandon. And apparently, having me and Emma there, her own sister and niece, would ruin the aesthetic. Those were her exact words when I called her, shaking, to ask what she meant. "Sarah, you know how Emma gets," she said, like she was explaining something obvious. "She makes noises, she doesn't sit still. Brandon's family is very traditional. I can't have anything go wrong." I asked her if that was really her reason. If she was honestly choosing her fiancé's stuck-up relatives over her own niece. And do you know what she said next? "Don't make this about you, this is my day." I hung up, I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I just hung up. Nana Ruth was watching me. "What are you going to do?" she asked. Honestly, I didn't know. I felt frozen, hurt, furious. But more than anything, I felt this cold realization settle in. My sister truly didn't care about me or my daughter. To her, we were inconveniences, embarrassments. Here's what you need to understand about me. I'm the one who co-signed Vanessa's car loan when her credit was awful. I'm the one listed on 3 of her credit cards as an authorized user because my dad insisted I help her build credit. I'm the one who helped her get the wedding venue in the first place because the coordinator was my old college roommate and gave a family discount because of me. My name was tied into her finances everywhere, and I didn't say a word to her about what I did next. I just waited. I called the credit card companies one by one and removed myself. I called the car loan company and asked to be taken off as co-signer. Luckily, she'd made enough payments that they approved it. Then I called my friend at the venue and calmly explained I was no longer associated with the event and needed my reference withdrawn. She was confused but professional. She said she'd note it. I did all of this in one afternoon. Nana Ruth sat with me the entire time, sipping her tea, nodding slowly. "You're not telling her?" she asked. "Nope," I said. "Let's see how this plays out." 3 days later, I was home with Emma, watching Blue Eye for the 100th time when my phone started blowing up my dad. 12 missed calls in a row. Then Vanessa. Then my mom. Then my dad again. I didn't answer. Then the texts started. "Sarah, pick up the phone. What the hell did you do? This is not the time for your drama. Call your father." I smiled. Actually smiled. Then came the voicemail. My dad's voice was shaking, not with sadness, but with rage. "Sarah, I don't know what kind of stunt you think you're pulling, but Vanessa's card just got declined at the venue. They're saying there's an issue with the deposit. You need to call me right now and fix whatever you did." "Oh, you want to know what I did? I'll explain exactly what happened with that venue. And trust me, it only gets better. But first, tell me this. Did I go too far? Or did my sister have this coming? Because what happened next, well, my dad wasn't the only one calling me in a panic. My phone kept buzzing on the coffee table, and I let it ring. Emma was curled up beside me under her weighted blanket, completely absorbed in her show. I wasn't about to disturb her peace for their chaos. Then Nana Ruth called. I answered. "They're losing their minds," she said, and I could hear the smile in her voice. "Your mother called asking if I knew what you did. I told her I had no idea." "You're a terrible liar, Nana." "I know, she didn't believe me for a second." She paused. "Are you okay, sweetheart?" And that was the thing, I was. For the first time in days, I actually felt okay, because I wasn't just taking it anymore. I wasn't accepting that my sister could treat me and my daughter like garbage with no consequences. I'm good, I told her. Really good. Let them sweat. I finally texted my dad back around 8:00 p.m. One line, I removed myself from Vanessa's financial accounts. The response came instantly. You did what? Do you have any idea what you've done? The venue needs payment by tomorrow or they're canceling everything. Me, sounds like a Vanessa problem. This is her wedding. How can you be so selfish, Sarah? I actually laughed. Selfish. I typed back, she uninvited me and called my daughter weird. But sure, I'm the selfish one. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then nothing. Vanessa, though, she had plenty to say. You're vindictive. I can't believe you do this to me. This is my wedding. Dad is pulling money from his retirement to cover this. That last message made me pause, not out of guilt, but clarity. They'd planned this wedding far beyond their means and relied on my credit, my connections, my help to make it work. And they thought they could discard me when I was no longer convenient. Should I have felt bad? Because I didn't. I didn't reply to Vanessa, but I did call my dad. He answered on the first ring. Sarah, let me be clear, I said calmly. Vanessa told me not to come to her wedding. She called my daughter weird and said we'd ruin everything. So I removed myself, financially and otherwise. That's what she wanted. She didn't mean it like that. She did, and you know she did. I took a breath. I've spent years helping Vanessa, co-signing loans, risking my credit, getting her discounts through my friends. And the second I'm no longer useful, I'm disposable. My daughter is disposable too. Sarah, she's just stressed, my dad said. She's cruel, I replied, and you're enabling it. Silence. If you have to dip into your retirement to pay for her wedding, I continued. Maybe the wedding is too expensive. Maybe she should have thought about that before insulting the person helping fund it. So you're really doing this? His voice turned cold. You're going to ruin your sister's wedding over something she said in a moment of stress. I'm not ruining anything, I said. I'm just not helping anymore. I paused. She made her choice, I made. Mine, I hung up. Emma looked up at me. Mama, okay? Yeah, baby, I said, pulling her close. Mom's okay. The next day, my mom called. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Sarah, she said tightly, you need to understand what you're doing to this family. What I'm doing? I asked. Vanessa is beside herself. Your father is scrambling, all because you got your feelings hurt. I closed my eyes. Mom, she told me to keep Emma away because she's weird, your granddaughter. She didn't mean. Stop, I said. She meant it, and the fact that none of you are upset about what she said to Emma tells me everything. You're being dramatic. I'm being a mother, I said quietly. Something you seem to have forgotten how to be. I hung up on her too. That afternoon, Nana Ruth came over with soup and fresh bread. We didn't talk about the wedding. We just sat with Emma, ate lunch, and watched her play with her dolls. After a while, Nana said softly, you know they're going to keep calling. I know. And the wedding's in 3 weeks. I know, Nana said, squeezing my hand. You're doing the right thing. I wanted to believe her, I really did. But that night, after Emma was asleep, I lay there wondering. Was I standing up for my child, or letting my hurt feelings blow up my whole family? What would you have done? Because what happened next caught me completely off guard. Brandon's mother called me. Yes, his mother. A woman I'd met exactly twice. Once at a family dinner where she talked nonstop about her country club. Once at the engagement party where she called my neighborhood quaint. Her name is Patricia. So when Patricia Whitmore popped up on my phone at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, I honestly thought it was a mistake. I answered. Hello, Sarah, she said, clipped professional. I hope I'm not calling at a bad time. I glanced at Emma, who was on the floor working on her puzzles. What can I do for you, Patricia? I need to speak with you about the wedding situation. Here we go, I thought. I braced myself. I'm listening. I'm going to be very direct, she said. Vanessa told me what she said to you about your daughter. My heart stopped. And I want you to know, Patricia continued, that I find it absolutely appalling. Wait, what? She sighed, and for the first time, she sounded almost human. Look, I know my family can be traditional, but traditional doesn't mean cruel. My sister's son is on the spectrum. He's 12 now, a wonderful boy, and if anyone ever spoke about him the way Vanessa spoke about Emma, I'd have far more than a few words to say. I just sat there, stunned. Sarah, are you still there? Yeah, I just didn't expect you to say that. I'm calling because Vanessa came to me yesterday in tears, saying you de-sabotaged her wedding. She wanted me to talk to you, woman to woman, to get you to undo whatever you'd done. She paused. So I asked her to explain exactly what happened. And when she did, let's just say I had some very pointed questions for my future daughter-in-law. I sank onto the couch. What did she say? She tried to justify it, said Emma would be disruptive, that she was just being practical, that she didn't mean it the way it sounded. Patricia's tone hardened. I told her if that's how she truly feels about her own niece, she may not be ready to join a family that values compassion and inclusion. Was Brandon's mother really threatening the wedding? I also spoke to Brandon, she continued. He had no idea Vanessa uninvited you. He thought you chose not to come. When I told him the truth, he was deeply disappointed. Is he calling it off? Oh, he loves her. God help him. But he did tell her that if she doesn't fix this with you, he can't trust her judgment as a partner. She paused. Which is why I'm calling. Here it comes, I thought. I'm not calling to ask you to fix her finances. She made her choices. I'm calling because I think you should come to the wedding. Bring Emma. Sit in the front row if you want. Let Vanessa see what she almost threw away. Her voice softened. And let Emma see that she belongs. I didn't know what to say. I appreciate that, I really do, but I don't think. Just think about it, she said gently. And for what it's worth, what you did took courage. Sometimes people need consequences to grow. She hung up. I stared at my phone like it had turned into a snake. 10 minutes later, Nana Ruth called. Did Patricia Whitmore just call you? How do you? Your mother called me furious. Apparently Patricia rang Vanessa afterward and read her the riot act. Then she called your parents and told them they de-raised a daughter who doesn't know how to treat family. Nana was practically laughing. Your mother is losing it, she paused. Oh, and it gets better. Brandon told Vanessa the wedding is still happening, but only if she apologizes to you in person with him there. My jaw dropped. You're joking. Not at all. Your father even called me, asking me to talk some sense into you before Vanessa comes over. I told him you already have plenty. I looked at Emma, humming softly, completely unaware of the chaos. My sweet girl, happy with her puzzles and shows, just wanting love. Nana, I said slowly, I think I need to do something a little dramatic. I could hear her smile. Go on. I'm going to make Vanessa earn that apology, really earn it. Silence. Then you are absolutely your grandmother's granddaughter. Do it. That afternoon, Vanessa texted. Brandon says I need to apologize. Can I come over? I replied no. If you want to apologize, do it tomorrow at Emma's school, during the assembly where she's getting an award for most improved student. The 3 dots blinked on and off. Finally, Sarah, that's not fair. Life isn't fair, Vanessa. Be there at 2 p.m. or don't. Your choice. I put my phone on silent. Because what came next was simple. Vanessa would have to sit in a room full of parents and kids, watch Emma receive her award, and face exactly who she tried to erase from her perfect wedding. Honestly, I couldn't wait to see her face. But what happened at that assembly went in a direction I never expected, and it involved someone I never thought would stand up for us. That morning, my stomach was in knots. Emma was buzzing with excitement, practicing her little wave and picking her favorite purple dress with sparkly stars. Mama, will people clap? She asked as I braided her hair. Oh baby, I smiled, kissing her head, they're going to clap so loud. She flapped her hands happily, the same thing Vanessa once called disruptive. My phone buzzed. Vanessa, I'll be there. Brandon's coming too. I didn't reply. Nana Ruth met us at the school in her full church best, navy dress, pearls, everything. If we're doing this, she said, squeezing my hand, we're doing it properly. The assembly was in the cafeteria. Kids in tiny chairs, parents lined along the walls. Emma joined her class and I sat where I could see it all. At 2:15, Vanessa walked in. She looked rough, jeans, blazer, hair pulled back like she hadn't thought twice. Brandon was beside her in a work suit, clearly uncomfortable. When they saw me, Vanessa went pale. I didn't smile. I just watched as they sat a few rows behind. The principal talked about effort, growth, and celebrating differences. Then they started calling names. When they called Emma's, my heart nearly exploded. She walked up, stimming the whole way, and when she got her certificate, she gave her practiced wave. The applause was loud, thunderous. Kids cheered. One boy shouted, "Go, Emma!" I cried, Nana cried. Even other parents were wiping their eyes. I glanced back. Vanessa was crying too, but not from happiness. Her face was falling apart, hand over her mouth. Brandon held her, looking stunned. When it ended, parents gathered their kids. Emma ran straight into me, laughing, holding up her certificate like a treasure. I did it, Mama. You did, baby, I'm so proud. Ice cream, absolutely. Then I heard Vanessa behind me. Sarah, I turned, mascara smudged, Brandon hovering. Emma looked up. Aunt Nessa, did you see my award? Vanessa's face shattered. I did, sweetheart, you were amazing. Emma went back to showing Nana Ruth her certificate. Sarah, can we talk? Vanessa's voice trembled. I looked at Brandon, he nodded slightly. Fine, outside. Nana stayed with Emma. The moment we were alone, Vanessa broke down. I'm so sorry, Sarah. What I said about Emma, about you, there's no excuse. I got so caught up in impressing Brandon's family, in making everything perfect, I forgot what matters: family. You called my daughter weird. I know, she sobbed. I almost ruined everything with you and Emma. Seeing her today, it made me sick. Brandon stepped forward. I had no idea. If I had, I would have stopped it. That's not who I am or who I want to marry. So you threatened to call off the wedding? Yes, I told her we needed to fix this first. I can't marry someone who treats family like that. Vanessa looked at me, desperate. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but please let me make this right. I want Emma in the front row. I want her as my flower girl. I want to start over as sisters, as family. Then my mom pulled up, face hard. Sarah Marie, you humiliated your sister. Mom, stop, Vanessa said. I humiliated myself. Sarah's right, she made me face what I almost threw away. Mom looked shocked, then slowly whispered, You're right, I'm so sorry. 2 weeks later, Emma twirled in her flower girl dress. Vanessa had apologized to her directly, tears in her eyes. Dad had apologized too, awkward but real. At the wedding, Emma walked down the aisle, petals in hand, proud and joyful. Patricia Whitmore gave me a thumbs up. During the ceremony, Vanessa mouthed, Thank you. At the reception, Emma and Connor, Patricia's son, became instant friends. Vanessa stood during the toasts. I want to thank my sister Sarah. I almost pushed away the people who matter most. She held me accountable, and I'm a better person for it. My niece Emma is incredible, and I almost missed that. I'm sorry, and I'm so grateful you're here. I cried. Nana cried. Dad got misty. What I learned: sometimes people mess up badly, and you choose whether to walk away or let them try to do better. I gave Vanessa that chance, not because she deserved it, but because people can change. 6 months later, Vanessa babysits Emma every other Saturday. She's learning about autism and advocating at work. Mom attends therapy. Dad set up a college fund. Family dinners happen. Emma and Connor are still best friends. Boundaries don't destroy family. Sometimes they save it. If your family can't give respect, there need to be consequences, and sometimes those consequences create change. Thanks for listening. If you're setting boundaries, I see you. Keep going.